Hi, and welcome back to Thone's Nibbles number 93. This comes from Acts chapter 4, a faithful disciple. The actual reading is from Acts 4:36 and 37. And Joseph, who is also named Barnabas by the apostles, which is translated the son of encouragement, a Levite of the country of Cyprus, having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. And we're talking about the charity of Barnabas here. Now let me just give you a little context for this. This is in the same chapter that Ananias and Sapphira also seemingly did the same thing, but they both died. And why was that? Because they claimed that they were giving all the money that they obtained from the sale, and indeed they were not. Peter, who had a great ability to perceive such things, questioned them, and they immediately fell down and died. Both first Ananias and then a couple of hours later his wife Sapphira. So this is in contrast to this. Barnabas actually did what it says here. He sold his land in Cyprus, and he brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. He was being charitable to the church in Jerusalem. Why is this in the Bible? To show the love and faith of a soon-to-be key disciple. He was known to the apostles, but he was not one of the prominent people at that time, but he soon would be. Who was it written to? Various disciples in the quickly growing church, and very much likely to us today as well, in that being seemingly charitable and seemingly claiming to do the right thing is not sufficient. It's better to be a little bit charitable, honestly, than to be seemingly more charitable dishonestly. And so I think we all understand that there's sins of pride involved, and there's lots of things involved. But anyway, that's when I say soon to be. Who was it written to? Various disciples in the quickly growing church, and very much to us. Communication. Barnabas' name speaks the desired message. He was practitioner of many of the desired characteristics of Christianity. His name has been variously translated: son of consolation, son of encouragement, son of comforting, and son of exhortation. All of these are the very things which Christianhood are associated with. Being able to console those who are in sorrow, to encourage those who are struggling, to comfort those who are in pain, and to exhort those who are capable of doing more towards the kingdom. What a wonderful resume that is for a Christian worker. Application to my life. Barnabas was a very loving, helping, and giving personality. He encouraged the laborer, drew people together, gave all for the gospel. Such a legacy should be a goal of all active Christian disciples, since this was Jesus' own personality too. How did this speak to me from God? do these things for the glory of God. You know, we can be charitable. We can give to people for our own glory. We can console people to be seen as a hero. We can do all of these things that are given to Barnabas for wrong reasons and right reasons. And the only right reason is, do these things for the glory of God. God could have consoled someone. God could have encouraged someone. God could have comforted someone. God could have exhorted someone. But He chose His people to do these things for Him. And therefore we are doing them to His glory. Now, my personal response to all this is, Lord, take away my unworthy priorities and replace them with the priority of loving, comforting, and encouraging others. Sometimes one's priorities can be not sinful necessarily. I'm working diligently right now on trying to find our church a new pastor. And my priority of that, there are several priorities of mine that are in that. And of course, one of them is to get the job done so they don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's the wrong priority. My priority is we want to choose the right person. And that's certainly part of God's priority, that He somehow is encouraging a person or persons that this may be something they should consider. And so certainly my priority is choosing the right person and helping guide the church as a whole in going through that process and making that decision. And that's for the glory of God. It's something that one of His fundamental institutions, a local church, is struggling and suffering right now because we don't have a pastoral leader. And, my job at my age cannot be that person for lots of reasons, but primarily although I might be an adequate teacher and preacher, I am not young enough, strong enough, or having the right personality to be overall a shepherd of a church. That requires a lot more than understanding of Scripture and the ability to teach that. It requires understanding. It requires incredible patience. It requires being ready to be out at all times of night when there is an emergency. All of those things are not intended for people of my age and my personality, which is relatively reserved. So that's what this is all about. We have to have the right priorities, and if those priorities are for the glory of God, then that's what is desired. If it's for me looking good, then that's the wrong priority. So that's the end of this lesson. See you next time.